Well, I mean, it's they didn't pay, like, it's Instagram. You really don't have to pay.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, it was a good drop, is what I'm saying. Like, it's yeah. Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. No, I'm not familiar.
20 years of selling Johnson and Johnson.
Ah, there we go.
Turns out I'm a babyface monster. I mean, that's honestly that might be my favorite Pusha T song.
He's got bangers.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was watching the other day that was highlighting him, but it's
Well, I mean, he did the Succession song.
I have not. I'm ashamed to say I have not yet gotten into Succession as much as I should.
It's fun. Just try and avoid spoilers as much as possible.
Well, I don't know anything about it.
Good.
I've just been. Everyone's like, oh, "Have you seen this or this?" Like, I run businesses. Like, I've got stuff to do. I don't get it. My downtime is when I'm on the flight, and Lee will tell you, usually like working on the book or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't get a ton. I want to, though. I really want to. I've been trying to take 2 days off for my birthday since last year.
I think I overcorrected from working 3 jobs. And so, like, I've gone and seen, like, I've made
three jobs. Are you half Jamaican?
I was for 2 years.
Because every Jamaican has at least 3. Ain't no Jamaican with 1. You got at least.
I mean,
3.
it started out as like, oh, I have my full-time job. I'll just do barbecue pop-ups, and then like it morphed quickly into like the week after I started barbecue pop-ups when I joined Socks Love to make sausage. Man, yeah. So I went from like not only doing 1 job to immediately going for 3.
That's how it goes, man.
Yeah,
that's how it goes. Oh, what you got for us? Good idea? Bad idea?
A good idea. Go scout and talk to developers and stuff, and see a property that they're developing.
You've been around me way too much. You've become so petty.
I mean, and then they tell you it's a food hall. Oh, so that's again, good idea. Back out immediately. Tell them that you think, this area doesn't seem like it would benefit from a food hall.
Yeah.
You need a strong brand name to get people in. And then watch less than a year later that they are doing a food hall centered around a barbecue place.
And who's the big name attached?
No one. Yeah. Just a new thing. Apparently, brisket will be the star of the show.
Maybe we should go toss our hat in there and then just have you come back in like, surprise, motherfucker.
I threw that shit before I even walked in the room.
Yeah, it was like, here it is. I thought I was gone. I thought y'all was done with me. Nope. No, that was a good idea, and I guess it's my part of the show, right?
Oh, by the way, the quote about brisket being the star attraction, that was a direct quote from the article.
We didn't make that part up.
We didn't make that part up. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
We'll drop that on there. We'll drop that in the show notes. But till then, welcome to This Week in Barbecue, the barbecue-focused show that brings you both the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. I'm your host, Rashid Phillips, and joining me is the well-trimmed and nicely groomed Mr.
Brian Hull, less disheveled.
Less disheveled. I love the like, what's my name again? I am Ron Burgundy.
I am Ron Burgundy.
And working the controls, the voice you hear and face you still do not yet see, Mr.
Lee Garman.
We still got it, ladies and gentlemen. And we're excited about today's show. Today's show is dedicated strictly to the pop-ups, our grassroots, all the mistakes, the failures, the burns, the just, why did I do that?
The grassroots, I'm still in the weeds, man.
It's in there. I've got some weed killer. We knock
trying to cut your way out.
I'm like guiding my way out right now.
You got it. Hey, all I have to tell you, weeds or not, watch out for the snakes.
Isn't that the truest statement of all time?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's hit them with the hard 20 and knock out these news points so we can get to the good stuff. Yeah.
It sounds good to me.
All right, I'm going to roll through, starting off with Master Built. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys know how I get down. I do have a Master Built. I do work with Master Built, but I am not I don't think I'm in this program. I feel like I would know. But if you do roll smoke, there is a Master Built Ambassador program that they have just initiated and just launched. You can go ahead, and we will have the direct link in the show notes. Go ahead and apply, see if you get there. I have no say whatsoever, just have to put that disclaimer out there, who gets it and who doesn't, but it's a pretty cool event. Program, I would assume, because you see everyone's got it. Like, you've got your Traeger squads and all of this. I even think Grill or Pit Boss has some stuff going, but
I think Green Mountain Grills has something.
yeah, Green Mountain, Green Eggs. I don't
Kamado.
think
Kamado's got to have one, right?
I don't know of any. I don't know of any. Honestly, I know Chef Eric uses them, but I don't know of any designated Kamado Joe ambassadors. But if you are wanting to get into the whole ambassador game, now's your opportunity to do so with Masterbuilt. And our amazing Lee will make a cut of this whole thing and we'll put it up so you guys will remember. So there's that.
When's the program? Do you have a date of when they're not accepting applications?
No, it's just open-ended. It's a nice way to go. So
I guess usually those things are just it's always rolling.
Yeah, it's just like, hey,
rotating.
I'm interesting. Come check me out, type of thing.
Yeah. Am I cool enough?
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. So that's my first bid. What you got on your first then?
So Leroy and Lewis have announced that they're finally opening a brick and mortar down in South Austin.
Hey.
So shout out to Sawyer Lewis and Evan Leroy and crew. Yeah, I flipped it.
I saw.
Yeah.
And
so
you're doing the audio. Let's put some like clapping on that one because that's really big. That's really
wait,
good for that.
I have to find clapping now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll send you.
I'll send it to you.
Okay. Oh, you.
I've
okay.
got some.
We've
Okay.
got
Got them
a lot.
cataloged.
Yeah, it's like I left the audio job, so I don't have access to the sound library anymore.
We've got plenty.
All right. Did you like the updated song version? By the way,
I do.
Okay.
I do like it. It's getting there. I still say we get Josh in
Oh yeah.
and we try to make something happen.
I'll ask him. Yeah.
Well, no, I'll bounce out the raw.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Good deal. No, congratulations to them. That's big. That's major. South Austin, they're going for it, man. I dig it. Next up, we've got Gork Barbecue Boys, and if you guys aren't familiar, check out Next Level Chef. You'll see my man over there. But they are teaming up with Village Pub to roll some smoke and serve some barbecue for veterans in support of local Legion Post 521. So what's going to happen there is he's got this particular dish. The Next Level dish is one of the dishes featured on that he made on the show Next Level. You can catch it on Fox. A portion of the proceeds from every one of those dishes sold is going to be donated. So I think that's amazing. You know how I get down. We love and often laugh comically about some of the things we do get to do and don't get to do charity-wise with giving back with barbecue. So that's a nice way to make it going. And those who don't know, he's a teacher. He's a teacher year-round. So he's just rolling smoke on the weekends when he gets to downtime. But he's a solid cook, man.
Teachers don't have downtime.
Yeah, that's true. Teachers never stop teaching. But he's out there fighting the good fight. He was just like, you know what? I'm tired of molding these young minds. Time to fill their bellies too. So he's just catching both ends. So way to go for that, brother. Way to go. What you got for us?
All right. So another bit of kind of expansion, I guess. Shotgun Willie's Barbecue up in Nashville announces they're moving to a bigger location with more smoking space, and they're aiming for a September opening. I don't think it's that far from their current location, but I know their hours aren't expanding, but they're expanding their cook quantity.
That's
when they move. I think they just got or either in the process of getting 1,000 or just got 1,000 to add to their 500.
I wonder what 1,000 they got.
I'd have to look.
Think
I know their 500 is primitive.
Think it's the Sunnies?
No, it might be primitive again.
Might just be another primitive.
Yeah.
Speaking of, hey, primitive.
There's a reason I wore the hat.
I see that.
I mean, I cook on it. I should wear the hat
You
occasionally.
probably should. Well, they should cut you a check for wearing the hat on the show occasionally, you know, or at least hook you up with some firewood, or like make you some cool fire tools, something, funsies. Never know. I'm screenshotting that and using it for the thumbnail.
I'm gonna become a meme.
Hey, I was a meme, so I'm done. I've marked that off my to-do list.
Made it.
I had a whole Reddit subgroup,
Yeah.
so it's nice.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What is both of y'all's favorite subreddits?
I'm not intelligent enough to use Reddit that well. I only found out because someone had sent it to me. But if I have to find one, I'd want to find if there's one for pyros, you could definitely find me
Oh,
there.
absolutely.
That's probably where I'd hang out.
I don't like our barbecue. This is tell me tell you that I'm a Reddit user without telling you I'm a Reddit user. It's when you add the R in front of anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, so like in one of a group of friends has a Facebook chat, and they've been linking stuff from There Was an Attempt. So, like, there was an attempt to say someone was trying to get a bunch of balloons in the car, and there's, like, a 50-mile-an-hour gusts.
Oh.
And it looked like the balloons were about to strangle the guy. So yeah, there was an attempt, pretty good. Public freak out was always a good one.
Oh yeah, that one is good.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much of a masochist you are about and how much you want to go down.
I guess this is a rabbit hole. I literally only knew about it like after the show. I've never really been on there, but apparently there's a pretty good foodie base out there. So I kind of want to get in there.
Yes and no.
Is it no? More judgmental? Is it Facebook?
No,
on steroids?
it's you'll look and be like, this got upvoted. That's the kind of thing that you'll like. Lee's just silently nodding.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check that out then.
Yeah, there was an attempt as a good one.
All right. This next one was something I came across that I just found remarkably interesting, and I wanted to look into it some more and wanted to just share it. Not necessarily barbecue, but it is food related. It's school lunches from around the world. So I'm going to have the link to the carousel post, but Complex had reposted it from, I believe, a school teacher had compiled school lunches from all over. So like they had like Brazil, different parts of Europe. There was just everywhere for food, and everyone's food is so amazing. Then you get to the U.S. and it just looks so sad, so sad. And it's like, frozen nuggets, brown salads that should be green, and a crazy like very frozen, semi-frozen pizza slice. But these other places have like variations of kimchi. There's fresh salads and greens. There's seafood. There's bass. I'm like, wow, I want to go to these schools and eat like this. Like this is like the Brazilian one was just like, of course, there's some carne asada on there and some other dishes. Like this is badass. But we need to do better.
It's amazing what the proper use of government funding will do.
Yeah, I'm not putting my big toe into that one. Goodness gracious. Yeah, but it was wild to see some of these dishes. Like, this is lunch? Like, what they were serving these kids for their school lunch, these are dishes people go to restaurants to have.
And I bet that the trays also didn't come with like a carton of milk.
No.
For some reason, every American school lunch, it doesn't matter what you're eating, it's going to come with a carton of milk. Slice of pizza, carton of milk.
Yeah.
Crappy cheeseburger, carton of milk.
Mm-hmm. Fruit plate, which is just either pick an apple or banana or get yourself a muffin.
Carton of milk.
Carton of milk. That's just how it is. I remember Sloppy Joe's when I was in like middle school, and I was like, oh man, because I never had free lunch. My mom always packed lunch. I never got the free lunch stuff, but I'd see it. I was like, man, that looks so cool. And I also never had Lunchables, so it was always like fresh homemade stuff.
I mean, most American schools don't even have free lunch.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
oh, that's right. There was a huge debt thing that someone had to pay it off because the school there. I forgot what it was. It was an article like a year or two ago that a school had gotten so far in debt with student lunches that some famous person came in and cleared the debt. Like, this is silly that you guys can't feed kids. Like, why is this a problem? But that's wild. I'm gonna have to look into that some more because that should never be a problem. That shouldn't be a thing.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a thing. Like, yeah. Where are my tax dollars going? Because Lord knows y'all took a grip this year. So, come on, put it towards something. Because if we're out here slinging $20 challenges feeding 8 to 10 people, you guys are getting hundreds of thousands of meals. Like, come on, how many doorknobs can you really replace? You sound like the church on Sunday.
Just put Chick-fil-A in charge of it, and it'll all be fine.
I don't care what people say.
Don't put Joel Osteen in charge of it.
However they feel about Chick-fil-A, man, their logistics department is bar none the best.
Yeah,
they crush it. Just always defer to Chick-fil-A. What would Chick-fil-A do? That's what it needs to be. What would Chick-fil-A do to fix this logistical nightmare? Just get them in there in the weekend. When COVID hit, everything shut down. Chick-fil-A is like, cool, we're closed on Sundays anyway. They had their construction people come out, upset, like revamp the whole drive-through system. Bam, didn't skip a beat. Back on him. I was like, yo, you guys are wild. How did you? Like, this is crazy. Well, you know who needs Chick-fil-A? The damn Whataburger on 20. That's who needs Chick-fil-A's help. I've wanted to try it because I got this whole thing coming. You guys will
We've
see it with
tried
the burgers.
Whataburger. You don't need to try it.
I
We've had
know.
it
Well,
in Texas.
we did have it in Texas, but like I've been going because I've got this. I can't. There's this thing with stuff, and it's coming, but like I wanted to just. I'm trying to check out everyone else's, get a refreshed menu, and I remember there's being better than others. But I can't get in there to save my life. It's just way too long. I'm not waiting an hour and a half for a burger.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it.
It's not barbecue.
Also, I haven't never eat at a Whataburger east of the Mississippi. Never eat at a Crystal's west of the Mississippi. Like, there's just again, this is why In-N-Out, for all their faults, they won't open a restaurant so far from a distribution center.
Mm-hmm.
It's because quality really does drop off.
Then what's McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all those?
Oh, they don't care anymore.
Yeah, I went to Wendy's the other day and I was like, yeah, let me just get a double cheeseburger. It was the saddest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, this doesn't taste like anything.
No.
Like there's nothing, there's no flavor. So no, I want to change the burger game. Maybe we should go hang out with Moss and go make some killer burgers.
Well, I mean,
Matt was gonna do
speaking of burgers,
Yeah.
May 7th, the burger benefit at NFA Burger, they're having a bunch of burger chefs coming from around the country. They're going to operate the grills at NFA for 60 minutes at a time. You can buy tickets. Like George Moss is going to come do his Oklahoma burger. The Fox Brothers dudes are taking over for a little bit. They're doing the burger from the menu.
Isn't Ford coming? No, he's doing something that's Super Rica.
Well, he did that today.
Was that today?
That was today.
Okay, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that was this week.
Okay.
That was this week. Yeah, that's already passed. Let's see. There was a couple other people. Oh, one of the owners of Emmy Squared is coming down. They're going to do their smash burger. So it's just like, and then like the CEO of Waffle House is also going to come and do like smash burgers for like, so they're going to make 60 burgers every hour, and they're raising like it's for a benefit.
I wonder if the CEO of Waffle House has hands like the cooks at Waffle House. I'm just saying.
Let me look up what they're actually raising money for.
Yeah, go for it. No, I want to. I've always wanted to do an all burger pop up.
Oh,
like
no.
I know they've got like thick burger and stuff out there. Not knocking them, cool people do your thing, but I've wanted to just do a classic all burger smash burger pop up. Just like let's go.
Oh, it's for the Giving Kitchen.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Right on. Lovely.
So yeah, so it's chef from Starland Yard in Savannah, Emmy Squared, Little Cottage NYC, owners of Nick Westside. So it looks like let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 different chefs making burgers.
That's a lot of chefs in the kitchen.
Well, no, they're like I said, they operate it for an hour.
Yeah, they rotate.
Yeah.
In and out. All right, good on them, man.
And so that's May 7th, and they're like, follow them on Instagram for updates. Is just the burger benefit.
That's right.
Yeah, burger benefit.
Okay.
So know the.
Good. Your turn. Your last.
Okay.
Yeah, we got.
So sorry we missed this last week.
Yeah. Remember
Shout
we
out-
say the good, the bad.
Yeah. Shout out to South of Heaven Barbecue. They had their last service for the time being this past Saturday.
Yeah.
They were saying it's not goodbye, it's see you later.
Yeah.
They're stepping away to, focus on their health and raising their kid. Kate and Judd are awesome people.
Yes.
I got to eat at South of Heaven when they were still down in Carrollton before they, this was probably 2018. 2018.
Same. They were very early supporters of mine when things really got rolling with PBC. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they're stepping away to focus on their family. It's more of, like I said, it's more of a commendable decision.
Yeah.
And
And we're seeing a lot of that. Last
Yeah.
week we reported on Plates by the Pound doing the same.
Yeah, which there's 6 Saturdays left by the time you hear this for Plates by the Pound.
Yeah, Plates by
Yeah, because by the time you hear it, it will be 7 is this weekend. There's 6 chances left to get Plates by the Pound.
And they're done in what, May?
May 27th.
I think I may actually be able to go.
No, that's the weekend you're at Treaty Oak.
No. I'm in Colorado.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The week before.
Okay, yeah.
So I may actually be able to go and snag one of the final plates beforehand. So right on. Good deal,
Yeah,
good
so
deal.
Yeah, they always did emotional support tacos on Tuesdays. So like they will be missed until they come back. I'm sure they're gonna do stuff.
Yeah.
Certain like soon, but
No.
like sooner than later. But they're taking a step away for right now.
No, I get it. Much respect and love. And last on my bit, little not shameless because it's all for a good cause. I'm giving away a Masterbuilt 1050 smoker. And I know we talked about Masterbuilt at the top end with their ambassador program, but Mr. Darren Carter of the Unknown's Black Pitmaster and Carter's Barbecue out of Ohio. He does so many things with this amazing organization, Safi. If you guys have been listening in any way, shape, or form for a while, you've heard me discuss how I've helped raise funds, myself personally and PBC. We've donated countless backpacks and countless toys to Safi, which is an organization and an orphanage for children. So we're just trying to make sure that these kids have the best of experiences during the holidays and back to school times as they can. You know, they didn't ask to be in that position, so try to do a good thing there. So Mr. Carter's putting on this celebrity pitmaster benefit, which we talked about. I somehow lucked up and made it on the list of all the other dope people. So we're going to be out there. We're going to be cooking. All the funds, all the nickels, the dimes, and dollars are going to be donated to help these children in the orphanage. But to amp up ticket sales, I'm also going to give away a Masterbuilt 1050 smoker and a nice PBC swag bag. So easy. All you have to do is buy 2 tickets or more, and you're automatically entered into the raffle. And you could win a $900+ smoker with all the merch and stuff with it, a little over $1,000 value. So, yeah, pretty nice.
Plus,
and
you get to go eat a bunch of food from, as you put it, a bunch of dope people.
Yeah.
And Rashid.
Yeah, there's a bunch of dope people, and then there's me. I don't know. I'm just that guy who got invited to the cool kids party. I'm just there like, I don't know what I'm doing here or how I got here, but I just need a ride home after this is done.
You, knowing how much whiskey or how much bourbon's gonna be poured at that thing, you will need it. Like,
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm coach. We've literally had a night where we've knocked back 2 clean bottles.
I wish there was a sound
perfectly
effect for every time that Lee does an expression. if only you knew.
If you knew how much, no, we're perfectly fine. Trust me, it'd take a lot. But that's the tail end of my stuff. You've got a great one to wrap it up with, which is great news.
Yeah. So Barb's BQ has announced that they're doing another class. You can almost want to put the South Park and it's gone meme at the end of this because by the time we talk, you hear it on the podcast, they might have already filled up their class.
Probably.
Yeah,
Probably.
but
there's a strong chance.
Yeah, so we'll have the link there. It's on 5/28. So you're in Texas at that time.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
you might like. I don't think Hot Luck's doing anything on the 28th.
No.
All their food stuff is the 20. They say they're the 26th through the 28th, but it's really the 25th through the 27th.
Yeah,
for
the food stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The show and entertainment stuff, the lights, all that jazz. No, trust me, when I get down to Texas, I'm trying to roll some smoke and trying to see if Pops will let me get some land over in Corsicana to throw a little gathering together and let some friends light some stuff on fire. But you guys heard it here first. We'll see. We'll see what we can put together. But yeah, congrats to that. Man.
I might sneak into Texas during that week. I don't know.
Go ahead and do it.
But yeah, so yeah, Barb's BQ. If you want to learn before they open, 5/28. Sign up for the class now.
There it is. Ooh, all right. Time for the business questions.
The pop-up questions.
Business pop-up questions. Questions that pop and
Pop-up video.
all right. Pop-up blockers, not here, not on this podcast. Ooh, let's get this going, shall we? I've been excited because I mentioned it. I love the craft. I love the passion. There's just something about it. Like the other day, when it was storming, when it was raining, it's 38 degrees outside. The wind's blowing sideways.
Great middle of April weather.
Yeah, it's a torrential downpour. What does this Jamaican oak tree do? Like, a perfect day to roll some smoke.
I was so glad my thing got canceled.
I could bet. I thought of you during my whole cook. I was like, he's probably dry, inside, warm. I was out there in it, and the crazy thing that's wrong with me, I was reveling in it. I loved it. I was like, oh gosh, I forgot how much I love this.
Oh, I don't mind cooking in the rain. When you do service in the rain, it's a completely different thing.
I'll do service in the rain. It's just if the customers had the same mindset as I do, they'd have fun. But I loved the cook because it was going through all those challenges. I mean, it's like the temperature's trying to plummet. I got to use more fuel. I got to run hotter. But Penny loves rain. Penny runs amazing in the rain. Like it's beautiful. And then the end result was I did it, and it's weird because when you just have it, you're just like, yeah, let's do it. I did a pastrami brisket, a 24-day. Then I did a regular brisket. Then I did some pastrami tri-tips, and I was just like, yeah. And I ate it, and I must have messaged Leah like 1 a.m. I was like, this is the best pastrami I've made yet.
Can't confirm.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah, it was absolutely the best pastrami that I made, and the thing that gets me about pastrami is because and I know this aren't the questions here, but it takes so long. It's that patience game for me. It's like I'm just checking out, like, are you ready yet? Nope. Okay. Back in a week. Nope, not yet. Okay. I'll just keep waiting. But
it feels so different coming off the pit too.
Oh yeah. Even once you get it out of everything, and I have to say, I only did one desal, and I only did one desal this time.
Okay.
And the results were, yeah, very, very happy. Speaking of, you're not the only one who brings goods.
There's a brick.
It's a brick. Hey, I move weight, right?
All right.
You know that I got what you needed, and if I ain't got it, I'm going to get it. So get it while the get's still good.
Is that a brick of pastrami?
That is a brick of pastrami. I move weight, man.
All right. Can I save this for or?
You can take a bite now if you want.
You're putting me on the spot.
I am. Well, I'm putting myself on the spot, actually.
Yeah. All right.
If anyone's
I was like, I'll save this, and like I got some sauerkraut and some rye bread.
That's it. I was like, feedback is like, can I get a Reuben? No, but I think this is actually going to be what I do on my casino tours. So I've got one in June. Is it June? June.
I don't remember.
I don't know. It's got a J. It's June, July. It's one of those two. But I think this is what I'm going to make for those. So I'm back timing it to make sure I get it done right, and may even push it a little. But I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Don't focus on me. It's all his.
Am I in shot?
Vanna White, there it is.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I remember when Tom sent me some pastrami. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I gotta make some pastrami with Tom soon.
Yeah, it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. So
It's not bad. No, it's good.
it's like
not bad.
It's like it doesn't suck. I'm not gonna throw this out the window as I leave the studio.
Nah, dude, this is sandwiches, man.
He's tossing this to the dog that's roaming around here, like, here,
dude,
take it, kid.
dude, brisket hash or breakfast hash.
That's what I did with some of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I think that's your go-to move. Is just I'm gonna make a hash.
Eggs. I just want eggs and potatoes with everything.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not. No, I dug it. I love it. I'm glad you didn't find it repulsive.
No, actually, like you're right. Like, I've only had your pastrami twice, so that's the best one I've had.
Thank you.
Yeah. But in fairness, I even think you weren't happy with the pastrami that you served me.
I'm never really happy.
Yeah.
I'm never happy. But that's when he knew it must have been good, because I said, this is the best one I've made.
Yeah, no, like you wouldn't have brought it to me unless you were like,
No, yeah, definitely. I'm very proud of that one. I'm upset that I didn't make more, because pastrami brisket just vanishes. It's just
yeah, well, and also the time commitment and space commitment. You're like, why didn't I just do more of this?
I should have done more. So trust me, the next batch I'm doing like 5. I'm gonna ship 3 and keep 2. You know, that's what it's gonna be. But enough of me talking about pastrami. Let's get into these questions. For real this time.
You want the funny question first?
I feel like that's the best way to start it, is that question. So
our buddy Q Lander of Fuck You asked, why is everything so heavy?
I love the Fuck You guys. I really do. They're absolutely amazing. I miss running the circuits with them. I love that they've got their spot. Everything's heavy because it's got to last. That's why.
Well, that and like there's a lot of people you got to feed.
Very true. Very true. It's got to be durable, good quality, and it's got to be able to output a lot of stuff.
Oh, I told you that I was going to have a funny story to back up this question.
Yeah.
I went to a supplier to get some briskets to test out.
Okay.
By the way, we are getting screwed over here compared to Texas.
Oh,
Yeah,
It'd be cheaper for me to have my sister ship me
like
some
a
stuff.
$1.25 difference from what I knew friends in Texas are paying for lesser quality briskets.
Oh gosh.
Well,
Anyway.
I mean, that's how it was when we were talking with Blair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was paying less
Yeah.
then too.
Yeah.
Far less.
All right. Well, anyway, so it's a 60-pound case of brisket, and the guy's like, "You want me to take it out to your car?" And I go, "No, I got it." It's like, "It's 60 pounds." I'm like,
Yeah.
I got it. I
can
got
make
it.
I think I can do it. I think I can do it, sir. I think I can make it happen. So that is, that's
So
my answer
yeah,
to it.
you're going to be lifting a lot. So
Yeah.
just prep yourself.
Which is part of that too. Where I say, take care of yourself, take care of your body. You know, it's hard to say like
Stretch.
someone's always like, "Why are you always doing?" Some mention, I get that time. Why are you always working out? Why are you always doing pull-ups in the gym? And then we went to Holy Smokes, and I forgot who it was, but someone, I think it was Jackson. Shout out to Jackson. Was taking a video of me loading the hog by myself. Now, mind you, I'm flat-footed on the floor.
Right.
The pit's up in the air, and they're over there just to make sure it doesn't go in. But I'm on the floor going up with the hogs off my shoulder. That's why, so I can do those things. Because you usually 2 to 3 guys to load it, much less when it's on the floor. There's a huge difference when it's on the base level versus 4 feet up, and then you still have to go above that. So take care of your body, stretch, go get massages, go get things done so you're okay. Get good shoes, get a solid pair of aprons and jeans or something. Like, I get terrified when I see like open fire demos and people are in shorts and tennis shoes. I'm like, bro, you were brave. Like, it just takes one good burn one time. You're like, yeah, never gonna do that again. Like, my heavy apron, it was 99 in Austin in the shade. I'm in front of shout out to the Mill Scale guys. They put together a fire table for me, burning down my hearth. I'm sweating bullets. I've got my thick apron on, but I'm safe and protected. So yeah, keep that in mind, guys. Take care of yourself. Now we will bump it up to
Actual questions.
but it's still still a fairly solid and good question. This one comes from our good old buddy Bruised Bruise. Where the fuck to start?
Oh, you want to go into he has a follow-up question that goes
He does. But I was going to go, so the first half is where the fuck to start. I like cooking. Is a pop-up a viable way of expanding my hobby into something more?
Yes. But there are different steps that you can do for a pop-up. I mean, did you just roll into straight pop-ups right away?
I don't say I was rolled. I was sort of, judgmentally pushed.
But I'm saying, like, did you,
Just
like...
looking at you, Lee.
I don't know who you're looking at.
I'm saying, like were you just serving friends and then you immediately, the first time that you ever served to people you didn't know was in the pop-up format?
No.
Okay.
So you start your villain origin story, and then I'll start mine.
Okay. So I cooked for a long time, and then I did a thing of some friends and family did an order weekend. I was like, oh, this is going to go great. I did a bunch of food, and I immediately did it the next weekend. And it was like, people already got the brisket and stuff from last weekend, so they're not going to order it again. So I looked kind of on Instagram and saw Burt Bachman when he was still Trudy's Underground Barbecue, Moo's Craft Barbecue, Dane's Craft Barbecue. They were all doing these kind of underground pop-ups where they would send out a message saying, hey, we're going to be serving barbecue at this date, this time. Shoot us, if you're interested, shoot us for the address and come grab some barbecue. So I started underground pop-ups is the way I did it. But I was probably cooking on my rig for a solid year and a half, 2 years before I even did that. But yeah, so that's what I started as. I just set up in a friend's driveway, invited people over, and then the first one, only one person I didn't know showed up. But that's all I needed. Once you get the first person to show up, and then they, like, if it's good enough and they talk about it and they spread the gospel, then you'll get more attention. And I think, like, my whole goal was, I didn't charge people. I just asked people for donations, so that I could pay for the next cook.
Nice.
I was just trying to do it so that I wasn't losing money, but I wasn't trying to make money.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
No, I get that. I was cooking a long time. I would just always have cookouts. Always. That was the thing. And I would go out to try to get good food, but I was like, this just consistently sucks. So I would go back and just cook it instead. But I'd keep trying. I was like, this is really, really bad. How is this popular? How is this like? It's like, all right, whatever. Then, like I said, I was forcefully guilted. And with that, I had a buddy, still do, she's dope, say, hey, I sort of know these people over here that they'd probably like your stuff. And at that point, I was still doing like chateaus. And I don't call it a pop-up because I was just supplying the smoked meats for the different chateaus, and I would see how people were responding or getting the feedback, talking to people, and they'd find out I was the one who made it, and I would get bookings that way for catering, weddings or graduations or whatever, and just keep supplying these chateaus and stuff, and then do the pairings. That's how I got into wines and all that. And then my buddy was like, why don't you, she's like, I know these people, I did their can art, come up to Athens, I can at least try to introduce you. I went up there, talked to him. It's like, hey, can I come feed you and your staff? And like, well, I was like, yeah, can I just come give you guys, I know you guys have different people that come through here, but can I just come feed you guys, see if you even like it, see if I'm actually any real good, because, you know, when you're drinking wine and you're drunk, everything tastes great. So they're like, yeah. Went and got some rigs, bigger rigs, cooked. I was there early. I think we did a lot. We did chicken and pork and some other stuff. And they loved it. Then the owner came out and was like, hey, you want to come back for this weekend? Little did I know that weekend was the UGA opener.
I know where this place is, maybe.
Details that was like, because when we got there second time, it was like, what's going on? Yeah, and then the second time, this is part of, I was like, whoa, this is different. And we had a crazy line. And this is, mind you, my first, and I'll post it on the page on This Week in Barbecue, my first set of events, at least my first 30 to 40 events, because I was cranking them. I was serving everything, including the kitchen sink. I mean, everything. Chicken on bone, bone off chicken, tacos, mac and cheese, sandwiches, blah, blah, blah. Everything was chaotic. My first menu was a god-awful mess, but I'm so happy it was for so long so that I could learn, and we'll get to that in different steps here. But that was sort of like the origin. We had a crazy line. The owner came out, he's like, we've done season openers before. This is different. Like, this isn't the game. This is your food. Like, what's in the food? Because everyone's raving about it. We had a line wrapped around and down the block. And they had me back next week when it wasn't a season opener. It wasn't even a home game. Same thing. And as it hit me, it's like, crap, it's actually the food. And the rest is history. Boom. So to answer that question, brother, yeah, it can be. But start small, start incremental. I think you should do a couple dozen cooks or a couple dozen feedings of people that aren't people you know, that have no affiliation with you. So a great way to do that, he may be thinking, go to your local fire department, go to your local police department, drop off some grub, like, hey guys, appreciate what you do. Drop off a couple trays. One, they're going to smash the food, they're going to enjoy it, and then you just keep building up that way, get those. You might get a little bit of catering here and there, but try to make sure you have a great product first, because I feel like a lot of people, and I've seen people jump in, I'm like, bro, you are horrible. Like, stop. This is what you did wrong. Tweak these and go from here. But start small and make sure that what you're starting with is good, and if you're not where you want to be yet, keep working till you get there.
This is going to sound, okay, I get in trouble because I kind of sound like an asshole when I say this.
I'm always sounding like an asshole, so it's okay.
All right. Know that there are other barbecue restaurants around you.
Mm-hmm.
So know that most people have the convenience of going to those barbecue restaurants basically most of the week. They can go to the barbecue restaurant around their schedule.
Very true.
When you do a barbecue pop-up, you're asking people to carve out their schedule to come to you,
yes.
to work their schedule around you. So when I started and before I wanted to serve people, I knew that I needed to have a certain quality of food before I started because I had to justify people coming to see me. And this is my mindset about it. That people can think differently. It's like, I had to be better than what you could get in the market because otherwise it didn't make sense for me to even be operating. Does that actually make sense?
No, it does. Yeah. Because you don't want to do, we've talked about it, we don't want to do redundant barbecue.
Right. Well, it's not even redundant barbecue. It's knowing that, hey, people are going to carve out their time to come see you. You have to make it worth it. And you have to say that you have to give a product good enough or better than what you can get, 5, 6, 7 days a week anywhere else.
No, I agree. I agree. You want the food as much as the pop-up to be an experience.
Right.
Take that. Next, we'll run it back to the top here, and this is from BM Luby. Interested in starting a charity barbecue. Profits help homelessness in area. Advice on starting. Now, this is multiple prongs for me. And I'm going to put them out there, I'll tag them so you can reach out to them. One of the best cats that I personally know to help with this is going to be Jonathan Jones of Jonathan's Barbecue, also founder of Smoke and Hope. This is exactly what he's doing in his area in Arizona. He started in the backyard, rolling smoke, just going around the community any which way and feeding the homeless society. And then he formed Smoke and Hope. Now, like I said, he's going to be your best resource. When we do the chat, I'm going to tag him. Hopefully, maybe you'll reach out to him. The way I've done it, because I don't have a 501c3, so Jonathan Jones is going to be the point for that, because he's got the 501c3. I do not, but I've been doing Pitmaster Santa for about 5 or so years, 4, 5, 6, or however long now, and I give away my brisket and sausage gumbo. And I don't accept cash. You've been there. We don't accept any cash because that muddies the waters, right, since we're not a 501c3. We take donations in the form of toys for children. And all the toys go to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. And we know what toys, because the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta can only accept certain items, like they can't take glitter or Play-Doh or stuff like that. And we do that because every child that goes into the hospital there leaves with a toy after care. And there is a very 95% chance any child that's visited Children's Healthcare of Atlanta over the last 5 years has received a toy from one of my donations. That's how I go about it without being a 501c3. So how do you get started? Go find the charity that you're looking to donate to, because there's usually an end goal. I don't know if you're saying you want to start the charity yourself or you have one in mind. If you have one in mind, go to them, talk to them, let them know what you're looking to do, see how you can help, if you can even do the event on the premises. So that will help you out a ton, because they will have a kitchen. They'll have all types of things that helps you with legitimizing and legalities by so much. If it's the other way and you're wanting to start your own, go still talk to the charity and be like, hey, how did you guys form your 501c3? Go find your local small business development area, and usually like a mile or two from your local city hall, and let them know, like, hey, I want to start a charity to do this, and they'll help you get the paperwork and stuff going. But no matter how you're wanting to go, start with the end goal in mind of this is where the funds are going to go, so let me go talk to these people so I know what they actually need. Because it's sometimes a giving heart is amazing, but you may not be giving what they may actually need. Me giving money to Children's Healthcare doesn't really do much. they need toys. They don't have the bandwidth to go shopping. So they need donations because people are in and out. So that's what we do. Your take.
I mean, that, like you said it all. Like, because anytime I've done it is I've just picked an organization that I'm going to donate money to, and then I'll have a special item on my menu that if you buy, the entirety of that sale goes to like that organization.
Yeah.
So like the first pop-up I ever did at Pontoon, we were raising money for the AAPI Civic Engagement Fund. Just recently we did, like, we had certain links that you could buy. If you pre-ordered anything for my anniversary pop-up, we donated money to Smoke and Hope.
Yeah.
So that's the way I've gone about it, is I've just picked an organization, said, hey, we're going to, like, if you buy this item, this is how much is going to go to the organization every time you buy the item.
Yeah.
And that way I can still do a pop-up. I know it's completely different the way you're going, but I will say, if you go do an event with a charity organization and they have a commissary, like, you don't, I'm putting my foot in my mouth. It's very different. It's way easier to get a license to do an event with that organization than it is to actually go do like a normal pop-up.
Yes, because the organization, that space is already classified as being checked off for food and the health department. So then at that point, all you have to do is go get your ServSafe and you don't have to get your own food handler's license or sales and use tax license or anything like that. Exactly. So there's that. Ooh, okay, these are good. This is a good one from Primo. Next one down. You run with that one.
All right. Primo_Supremo21. Shout out Hurtado. How do you know how much food to make for your first pop-up? You don't? Like, so at least here in Georgia, it's kind of a gamble, unless they tell you, hey, we're guaranteed to have this many people there. But even then, half the time they're pulling figures out of their ass.
Yeah. It's like, we don't really know. We thought it would be this, and it's like, all right, well, that doesn't really help me a ton.
I tend to like lean on the more conservative side. And it really depends on, again, where you are. You heard the conversation I was having. There is a completely different culture around barbecue and lines in Texas than there is about barbecue and lines in Georgia.
Yes.
Well, would you guys both agree that it's probably better to sell out quickly
without a doubt.
and have stuff left over?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Because as a pop-up, you don't have the benefit of doing anything with the stuff that you have left over besides donating it to like a fire station.
Yeah. There's nothing.
Because you can't donate it to a homeless shelter, really, because most won't accept cooked meals, right?
No.
If you're not like a restaurant.
And even still, the legality on that is ridiculous. So.
Right. So you really want to be more I would say be more conservative and grow. But say, like Primo, in his instance, like he's saying, hey, I've been cooking it. Let's just say he's going to start a pop-up. I've been cooking at Hurtado. He has some name recognition of I've been doing barbecue at this spot. I'm going and doing this thing. You could probably expand a little bit more than say like the first time I set up in a buddy's driveway. But like the one thing that when I did that, I was also I was telling people, let me know by a certain date so I knew how much to buy.
Yeah. So the way I'd go about it is go by how many people do you want to feed? That's if so really, and this is just to answer I'm going to try to make this as concise and simple as humanly possible. You always want to gauge roughly half a pound to a pound of protein per serving is what you like. So when you do a catering, when people come to us and ask for catering, that's how I price it out. Roughly half a pound of the particular protein per person, and start that way. So start with saying, can I get 50 people? Can I feed 50 people? How much meat do I need to feed 50 people? And then you go from there and you figure out, well, if I'm going to do pulled pork, am I going to give them a pound of pulled pork? I don't think a lot of people know what a pound of pulled pork looks like. That's a lot of pork.
Like, honestly, like when you compare a pound of pulled pork to a pound of brisket, it's ridiculous how much more it looks like.
Yeah. So like
it's the same weight, but it's like
the same way, but you're like, wow, that's a lot. So yeah, look at it that way. Like a pound of pulled pork is a lot. So maybe you're doing a third pound or a half pound.
A half pound of pulled pork almost looks like a full pound of brisket.
It
like
really
side by side.
When you do the right ball to serve, that's it. So start at that measurement of a half a pound of protein per person that you're wanting to feed. So figure out that math to do. Can I feed 50 people? And this is where we say barbecue math. Get yourself an even 20-pound brisket. You do a 25% trim, a 25% cook. You leave with about 9 to 10 pounds serving. You cut the bit ends. That may have dried out because it's your first run at it. That flat really, really got dry. So you've lost that. So you leave with really like 6 to 7 pounds of sellable quality meat that you're proud of. Great. If I have 7 pounds, well, that's either 7 servings or 14 servings at half-pound sizes, and that was 1 brisket, so that's 14 servings. Wow. Okay. Well, I want to feed 50 people. Going to need to get at least 4 briskets, and you keep going at that route, and that's how you go up incrementally. Do not be afraid to sell out early when you're starting, and just make sure that's known. Like, hey, it's not until 4, it's until sold out. It's okay to sell out early because it'll do one or two things. Some people are like, oh, it's good, so I'll never come back. But those who miss it are going to come back, and they'll be the first one in line. I guarantee you, if I say I'm doing a pop-up next week, the Seegers are going to be the first one in line. I know that because they're like, yeah, we've done this before. We know this movie. We've seen the end. If you're not getting there within the first hour, you're not getting any food. And if you're not first, you're definitely not getting everything. That's just how it goes. So that would be my suggestion there as far as how, trying to sort out how much food to make. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, go in expecting, like, if you can, try and get a head count, and then, like you said, then estimate it the way you were calculating it.
Yeah, and I'll button it up with this. The little part that I think a lot of people forget, and I try to point out because it's so obvious. You have to be a consumer. You have to be a consumer for the environment, for the community in which you're going to be popping up. You know how often I was at Pontoon before I did pop-ups? One, to support the brewery, to support the community so people knew who I was. I wasn't just some guy coming in here. That's like being in a Facebook group you just got added and you're like, yo, guys, buy my stuff. Who are you? What have you contributed? Go to wherever you're going to go for a pop-up, because if you're going to do a pop-up, chances are they've probably done it before, and go see the weekend. Go see the crowd. Go on the day that those people are there and see how they are. People are like, okay, this is a pretty good turnout. Okay, or I could do this, and watch, and then that gives you a good idea. So that's one of those hidden gems, those things that easily gets overlooked. Just go to the location before you do a pop-up. Go there 3 or 4 times before you do a pop-up. Yeah, that's the cut.
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it.
Next on the list here. This is from Cheyenne Phillips, no relation. Best way to start a barbecue business. What are you thinking?
Don't. I mean, okay, look. You need to knowing going in that the margins for barbecue are lower than pretty much any other food business. Like
restaurant industries, if you're making 10% profit, you are killing it.
Right.
So keep that in mind. It's a very low bar.
Yeah. Have you talked to like some of the you've done this? Have you talked to other pop-ups to see what their spend is compared to yours?
Oh yeah.
It's like, and then you explain yours, and their jaw just drops to the floor.
Yeah.
The best way to start a barbecue business is
to not go become a dentist.
Not become a dentist. No, I mean, like we kind of already explained it.
Yeah.
It's like you need to have a foundation that you're cooking at. You need to have a bar for quality that you cook at before you go outside of friends and family.
Yes.
And know that when you cook for friends and family and you give them free food, they're going to give you praise because it's free. You also need to I mean, there are certain ways that you have to go do it legally. You need to have a ServSafe certification. You need to have a commissary that you need to work out of. You need to have a food handler's license that you can do mobile food vending. Yeah. You need to have a sales and use tax license from your state.
Yes.
So you can collect sales tax that you need to give back to the state every month.
Yes.
I mean, those are just like, you need to have liability insurance, so that every time you go to a new brewery, you send them liability insurance so that they're covered under your policy, so that if anybody gets sick, they're not responsible, because they won't let you operate on their premises without it.
Yeah.
I mean, those are just the easy ones off the top of my head.
That's not considering having a website, a marketing budget, any of the supplies, any things you're going to take, because you're going to need a Restaurant Depot or Webstaurant account, or a wholesale vendors account. You're better off at places like Restaurant Depot. Then you want to get yourself out there. I can't tell you how many people applied that are doing pop-up store businesses for the Kingsford thing that have no website or internet presence whatsoever. I'm like, what? Do you know what year you live in?
Yeah, the minimum you should have is an Instagram and Facebook account.
And that is the dirt minimum.
That's the absolute minimum.
Yeah, you can't. That's like saying, "Oh, my photography portfolio is Instagram.com/." Yeah, I'm not calling you back.
Squarespace is what the base one is $26 a month.
Yeah. So,
and it's really easy to set up. Like I'm not sponsored. We are not sponsored by Squarespace. You may hear Squarespace on, like, they're just kind of. There's a reason so many people use it. It's because it's really damn easy.
PBC is on Squarespace. This Week in Barbecue is built on Squarespace.
Secret Pine Barbecue is built on Squarespace.
There it is.
You need to get are you taking only cash, or are you also taking cards? Because if you take cards, you need a Clove, or you need is it Clover or is it Clove?
It's Clover, and then there's Square. I prefer Square. Square lets you get the tap. You know, your first 1,000 or whatever taps are gone without it. Very easy to manage. Like, there's so much. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. You said best way to start a barbecue business. I actually answered this question. Answered it 98 times.
Don't you have a video series about this?
I have an entire video series on YouTube that I'll go ahead and link in the show notes. That when I say I share everything, that's what people can never accuse me of gatekeeping. I have a whole video series that answers every question from filing your LLC, getting your a good commissary, all the way down to your website, to how to find designs, how to get merch, all the good, the bad, and everything in between that I did when starting this business.
And a lot of that stuff back from when you did that series was as you were figuring some of that stuff out.
It was in the moment.
It's not like remembering it right now.
It was a daily vlog. Yeah. I did it every single day, so it's all there.
Yeah, I mean, because there isn't really a guide on the internet.
There isn't. There's no true guide to this. And if you go to like food truck, probably you'll see the same guy that's trying to sling you this crazy course. Don't do it. It's a waste of money.
Yeah, and
there's a food truck course.
Yeah.
Well, and also
make it a master class. Let's go.
It depends on where you're located.
I knew a guy that could work a camera.
It depends on where. Depends on where you're located too, because food laws are completely different depending on where you're located.
Very different. Yeah.
Do you know the Georgia pop-up law?
I should. We do pop-ups here.
How long do you think you can operate a food pop-up? Say that you're popping up at your friend's restaurant. How long do you think you can operate?
So that there's a lot of wiggle rooms there when it comes to a friend's restaurant. There's more information that's needed than just at a friend's.
No, okay. So let's say that the restaurant has already filed for a pop-up food vendor's license so that they can host pop-ups. How long do you think, knowing that they have a walk-in or refrigeration, everything you need to do to be food safe, everything?
I believe last time I think it's 4 hours.
3.
Oh, it used to be 4. No, it's 4 in Athens.
Yeah, no, in
Athens.
No,
and that's the thing too. You've got to.
The general law in Georgia is you cannot operate for more than 3 hours.
That's rough. See, and so when you see people like, "Oh, we're here from 12 to 9," I'm like, "No, you're not. One, you shouldn't be here that long. No. You should not be holding food for 9 hours. This is not, Golden Corral. Don't do that. Don't do that. But it's kind of crazy just how there's a lot. And mind you, Georgia's
Georgia's pretty strict.
One of the strictest. Texas, you can get away with murder. Sorry, Florida, you get away with murder.
I think honestly the most lax I think wasn't California, but now California is. I think you can cook out of your house.
Yeah, California.
As long as you're under $50,000 in sales.
Cali, you can cook out of your house, and New York, you can cook out of your house, which is really weird.
Well, what's funny is they said there was less cross contamination and foodborne sicknesses when they changed the law to cooking out of your house because you didn't have a bunch of people in the commissary not cleaning properly behind each other.
And that's the issue because usually it's not you, it's the commissary.
I mean, we both use the same commissary.
Yeah,
and
so.
I think Richard forewarned me. It's like, hey, don't leave any of your shit there
because you have to take everything with
because it won't be there when you come back.
Yeah, it's very much load in, load out, always. And here's a great thing: a clipboard or a to-do list is going to be your best friend. Having a certain way you pack your things going to be your best friend because organization is the hidden key to a successful pop-up.
You know what? The first item you need to have on your to-do list, the to-do list.
The to-do list. Make sure that gets done. So we got that. I want to answer this question. Clean the blade. Can it hurt my business if I pop up somewhere I'm not allowed in? I want to, but I don't understand what you mean.
Okay. You told me to not talk about this beforehand. So
yeah.
When you asked that question, I'm just thinking about all the dudes that you see them just set up on the side, like on the back end of a gas station, slinging Q, and they kind of have a sign. And do
you think that's what he means?
Probably,
because sometimes those guys at least talk to the facility first. So I'm trying to figure like, what does he mean? Like he's just set up in front of a club after it closed or something, or
set up outside
a restaurant?
I mean, first of all, if the property management told you can't be there.
Definitely
you're screwed.
Yeah.
But if you're saying it's like, oh, I just want to show up and pop up somewhere without like all the paperwork and stuff, like it's a rolling of the dice thing. You can totally do it.
Yeah.
The worst that will happen to you is someone will call and report you, and then the health department will come up, and when they tell you to throw away your food, they watch you throw away your food, and I've heard horror stories of. And then they pour bleach on it to make sure you don't take the food out of the trash can and resell it. So,
first off, you shouldn't be trying to go into a trash can and sell food.
Yeah,
yeah. Stranger things.
No, so the worst that can happen is you will lose all the money you invested that day.
Yeah.
Will it hurt your business in the long run? Yeah.
People have been closed down before, but they've made great progress. But this is more of a tactile question, like an equipment question. This is from Barbecue and Beers 13. What canopy brand works the best? I love Impact Canopy.
I honestly have really good. So I'll have to look up the brand. I was buying like the Academy ones.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, like if the wrong gust of wind comes, it's gonna rip the whole thing.
Now, mind you, before I had Impact Canopy, I had Solo Steel, and you saw that. That was my one with the awning.
Yeah. And
I loved it because it worked out, when it's rained, it provides covers. When it was hailing, it helped. When it's too hot, people in line get a little bit of a shade. But I love Impact Canopy because the braces are so thick. They're costly, but let me put it this way. When I first started, I did the Walmart 10 by 10s with the slight tilt, and then I went vert, and I must have snapped 4 or 5 of them with the wind. All I needed was one impact, and it would have been just perfectly fine.
I'm trying to look up the one that I ordered from Amazon that I've used for the past 3 years because it was actually a decent one.
Yeah. I use the Impact Canopy. It is. It's
Arrowhead Outdoor 12 by 12. That one was actually pretty good.
Put that down so we can get it in the show notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Impact's great stuff.
How much does an Impact run you?
About $400 or $500.
Okay, so that's like a legit so.
Yeah, it's you don't need to buy another one. Like they come with warranties.
Yeah, Arrowhead is the cheaper. It was like 170, but it was a true 12x12.
Yeah, so my Impact's a 10.
And it was also one that you can put up solo or take down solo because it's got the pop.
The middle.
Yeah,
that's the way. Keep that in mind when you're getting your gear, guys.
Like how many people do you need to set it up?
Just to set it up. Let's go with this one. We've gone back and forth on this, so I feel like this will be a good one to close out, and we'll hit them with the early 2000 rollover questions next episode. But this one comes from Grillhouse DMV. What are your thoughts on doing pre-orders versus buying and just selling on the fly?
You go first.
So I get down with both. Right now, I can't tell you the last time I did a pop-up that didn't have some sort of a pre-order in it. And the reason why that is, I like to step foot on premise in the black. Black is a business term, meaning black means you're profitable and the red means you're negative. Doing pop-ups with pre-orders allows you to gauge how many people are going to be there just to get the pre-orders. And then you're like, wow, if you can cover your whole food costs in pre-orders alone, then anything you sell on site is clean profit. Easy profit. So I'll do a pop-up. Like the last one I did was for Kira, and I had pre-orders. You could pre-order oxtail and jerk chicken, and I make a finite amount of it. And when that's gone, that's it. So if you didn't get it in the pre-orders, you can't expect it on site. And I make that very clear. But by doing that, I'm already in a good position financially to where my entire food cost is covered. So if everything ends up being a bust, I already still made profit off the pre-orders. That's my take.
Yeah, so I've started experimenting with pre-orders this year. If I do packs, like vacuum sealed packs of sausage pre-order, that usually does really well. I still have an issue of if I put up pre-orders for like actual like platters or anything, I'll get messages. So do I have to pre-order, or are you selling on site?
That's why I make, so my pre-order menu is completely different than my pop-up. Pre-order menu, you're going to get oxtail, you can get chicken. It's hot, ready to go, boom. Or you can order a whole brisket. That's it for pre-order. Don't be in line looking at the oxtail and like, oh, I want that. Well, you saw the pop-up, so that means you saw that you could order that.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, this last pop-up that I did for the anniversary, I did the pre-order for the beef rib, and that went really well. Yeah, because it gave me, doing that, I knew how much beef rib to pre-order, and people were excited for it, so I knew I could make a little bit more, and I sold out of the extra beef rib that I even had on site that day. Yeah. But then again, like I also didn't do the beef rib by the pound. Like I took a little bit of I still made money, but I took a little bit of a overall profit loss to guarantee that I would sell those things.
And I'll touch on that because we go back and forth. I'm charging you by the pound with bones. Like, don't ask for the bone out. Why? Because I had to pay for the bone. Right. When you go to KFC, you're not, the bone's in there unless you get bones. When you go to the grocery store and you buy bone and chicken, that weight includes the bone weight. Yeah. So it's just one of those costs that are in there, and you've got to price it. I want to get into it next episode with the pricing. We got a few in there, but yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I definitely am an advocate for pre-orders because it just sets you up, but make sure you do pre-orders the right way. Make sure you can set up and you make it clear there's a time slot for pre-orders. Come and pick up between this time. If you do not come between this time to pick up, yes, you have to wait in line because I can't stop the flow of everything because you didn't want to come during the pickup, because that's not fair to those who did come, and it's not fair to people in line. So yes, if the pre-order window is like 2 hours and you don't come during that 2 hour window, yeah, you have to wait in line. No, you can't just come up and grab it and go. No, you better wait. I might catch smoke for it, but that's
no. I had the same thing. It's like when I was doing the Bolshie thing. Since I was there longer, you could come in an hour beforehand to get your food, and you wouldn't have to wait in line. Yeah, some people use that, some people didn't, and then I even got a little like I had someone pre-order, and then they were like, I waited in line for an hour. It's like, there was a bunch of people in line beforehand. Like, I'm not gonna sacrifice the people in line beforehand when I gave you a window where you could come pick it up.
Yeah, that's just what it is. That was good. How'd you feel about that one?
Do you want to call that part 1? Or are we going to do a part 2?
We'll call this one part 1, and we'll do part 2 on the next one, and we'll get even more because there's some more that I need to put in there. But that was a good, solid one. I hope this information helps people and guide people. Like I said, I'm going to put in a link into the show notes for the Business of Barbecue series that I have on YouTube. That take the time, and that's the thing. Like, you can't be lazy with this. You got to invest something. You either got to invest money or time or both. Pick one. So take the time.
You have to invest both.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Take the time. Well, I mean, as far as the videos.
Oh, yeah.
If you're asking for this stuff, you want, I'm not going to hold your hand because it's out there. And I know it's out there because I made it.
Right.
It literally answers everything. Watch that. If you've watched that, then come to me with questions because I'll be able to tell if you have or not, depending on what you ask, because I know what's in there. I made it. But that was solid. That was a good one. I'm looking forward to it again. Anything you want to let the kind folks know prior to? I didn't show up. We tossed up your schedule. You got some fun clips happening.
So back, I guess we call it on the circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, April 29th, I'm at Little Cottage Brewery with my buddy Gabriel of Barangay.
Nice.
We are doing a collaborative Texas barbecue meets Filipino food menu.
Nice.
So we got some fun stuff in the works that we're doing recipe testing this weekend for that.
Good deal.
So like 2 weeks in advance, get some photos and stuff. Then got a big one coming up May 13th at the Darwin Hotel. That will be the next pop-up where I just do the full barbecue menu.
Good deal.
And that one joined by Crinkles by Nina, who does really cool desserts. So I don't have to make banana pudding or bread pudding for that one.
You make some solid banana pudding, man.
No. Lee had the bread pudding.
Oh, make it again, please.
Yeah, no, right. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
For me, I'm touring, hitting some spots. Next public one will be in Alexandria, Virginia on April 30th. I will put out the full list, but after Alexandria, Virginia, there are 2 in Atlanta. Then I'm heading over to Colorado, then Texas and LA, and I will be at Memphis in May. So if you cats are out there and want to roll some smoke, just catch up or buy us a glass of brown. I'll be over at Fine City in Memphis over for Memphis in May. We're there that whole weekend, yeah?
Yeah, that's
17th to the 20th.
Yes.
May 17th to the 20th. Look for the giant oak tree stumbling around.
I wish I could be there, but
be smoking.
We're doing the OTB Craft Barbecue Festival that week.
There you go.
So
no, but ladies and gentlemen, can't get my pen working here. Let's run that one back. There we go. This has been This Week in Barbecue, the Barbecue Focused podcast that introduces you to both the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of barbecue. I've been your host, Rashid Phillips, and my still amazingly well groomed, because that's a fresh cut. I wish you'd take the hat off so the people could see just how nice
I can't
it is.
say, like, now I'm going to have hat hair, though.
I know. Now it's done. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah.
My co-host, Mr.
Brian Hull.
And the master of controls, the face you do not see but voice you hear, Mr.
Lee Garman.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, please tell a friend or tell 2 friends, like, subscribe, share, and be good to one another.